following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
What's up, Ravens fans? Welcome into a fresh edition of Ravens Unscripted. As always, coming to you from the Under Armour Performance Center. Well, after 3 straight wins, some people might be booking trips to Atlanta.
Figuring out which finger am I going to put the ring on.
We're going to keep it all in perspective here over the next 30 minutes on Unscripted. It's an all Ravens media couch. We got Ryan Mink, John Eisenberg, and Cliff Brown. And guys, good to be with you. Let's start with 4 downs. Well, each week, Ryan, the story is Lamar Jackson as long as he's under center. This was his first road start. The numbers, what was your impression?
Yeah, obviously it was the shakiest performance yet, but I don't think it's all that surprising considering, he's a rookie and is only his 3rd start on the road for the first time. Look, this is kind of what you have to sign up for with Lamar Jackson. There's going to be some dynamic, electrifying plays. I'm not sure that any quarterback would have scored that rushing touchdown that he had. But at the same time, you have to know that there's going to be some mistakes. 3 fumbles, that's more mistakes than really you're willing to accept on a weekly basis. But I think that he'll correct that. But, I think most importantly, it was a winning performance. And he did what it took in the second half with his legs, picking up key first downs on long drives to keep that clock moving, to keep the offense on the field and get points. That's what it took to win this game.
Yeah, I continue to be impressed by Lamar's ability to overcome mistakes. That nothing seems to really rattle him long term. At halftime, I was thinking to myself, all right, 10-10, the half for him has not been good. Can he shake it off, finish the game, and get a win, whether it's pretty ugly or in between? That's exactly what he did. Leaving the game being concussed, then coming back, or at least in protocol, and then coming back and playing with poise, not easy to do in your first road start. So that, to me, as John Harbaugh said at the game, one of the most impressive things about Lamar continues to be his poise.
Well, he definitely has poise, but I think it's important to note what is happening to the team because Lamar is in there. It's changed everything about this team. The running the ball, controlling the clock, the defense is energized. They're not on the field. So Lamar, by playing the way he's playing and playing well enough to win, is changing everything about the Ravens.
Okay, well, that leads us perfectly to where we really want to be at this point, because the main storyline is if Joe's healthy this week, do you put him in? So, John, I'll start with you on this. Do those things change, all the positives change, if Joe's healthy and becomes the starter again?
I don't know if they change, but I don't make the change. I think you've won 3 games in a row. You lost 3 games in a row before Lamar was the quarterback. You put Lamar in, you win 3 games in a row. All these good things are happening. Be honest, I cannot believe there will be a change. I don't think there will be.
Look, I think the biggest question is, would the Ravens still run the ball as effectively as they have with Lamar under center or Joe under center? We saw with Joe under center for the first 9 games, they couldn't run it hardly at all. So only when Lamar came on the field was the only time they ran it. So I don't think that they would be as effective, and thus they would have to abandon this whole control the clock, keep the defense fresh kind of formula, I think, if Joe were to return, because I just don't think they would run the ball as well, because now it's back to 10 on 11. With Lamar on the field, it's 11 on 11 when the Ravens are running the ball.
Cliff, second down, and you can chime in with the Joe layer to this, but is the running game the linchpin that this is all hinging on?
Yeah, well, I think it's such a big part of their success now. And even before Lamar took over as quarterback, they didn't run the ball well unless he was in the game. Now that he is the starting quarterback and teams have to pay so much attention to him as a running threat, you've seen this dramatic change. It's unbelievable, really, the difference between the Ravens before he got in under center as a starting quarterback.
They're the most passing attempts in the NFL. They're throwing it more than anybody.
This is a great
rushing attempts.
And the great number. First 9 games, 834 yards rushing as a team. The last 3, they have 716 yards. So they've nearly matched what they did through the first 9. So I'm guessing then you're saying stick with Lamar and keep this
Absolutely.
rolling.
It's the formula for winning. Control the football, time of possession, and it's working.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have running back depth now, too. They have enough guys to do it. Obviously they lost Alex Collins because of foot injury, but Gus Edwards is running the ball really well. I like Kenneth Dixon, what he's brought, Ty Montgomery. I mean, they can really roll the three of them out and just kind of steamroll opponents, I think.
All right, third down. Let's flip the side of the ball. And Cliff, you made the good point that this defense has been dominant, partly because they're running the ball and controlling the clock. Who has impressed you most from the defensive side of the ball, specific maybe to Atlanta?
The Atlanta game to me, it was Jimmy Smith. I mean, he had the big time matchup against Julio Jones. And Jimmy, when he first returned to the game this season or to action, was not playing his best. And ever since the bye, he's been a different player, the Jimmy Smith that we know can be one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And that's one of the things that I think if you're a Ravens fan has to excite you moving forward, is that they have a secondary now with him and Marlon and Brandon Carr and Tavon Young. Can't remember them ever having four corners like that. So they can do some things with these guys, particularly with Jimmy playing at this level, that they could not do in years past. So he was my guy Sunday.
My guy for sure, Michael Pierce. You couldn't. I mean, the secondary is playing great ball, but they understand the Falcons aren't. They couldn't run the ball. They can't run the ball. They're a one-dimensional team. I love the 4th and 1 play where they just ran the ball straight up the middle at Michael Pierce, at Brandon Williams. That wasn't going to happen. I mean, what a simple call and a bad call just to go right at the strength of the defense. I mean, those guys are playing great football inside, just great football inside, and it makes the opposing offense one-dimensional.
I'm going to point to Marlon Humphrey. I think that along with Jimmy Smith, I think Marlon Humphrey is playing at a Pro Bowl level, and he could be one of the best cornerbacks in the AFC, I think, right now.
Well, Ryan, I'll stay with you on 4th down. Lost in all the Lamar show, drama, excitement. Justin Tucker still maybe one of the more, if not the most valuable part of this offense. 4 for 4 against Atlanta. I think he accounted for 14 points. Are we forgetting that this is the guy that might kick this team into the playoffs at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I think that with the way that the Ravens are playing on offense, Justin Tucker becomes even more valuable than he once was because it's a more of a low-scoring, grind-it-out, control the clock kind of game. And you see the Ravens obviously want to have better success in the red zone, so they want to keep Justin Tucker off the field. But you see just what kind of weapon he is late in the season, these cold months. I think that we're going to only continue to see that more down the stretch and appreciate him.
I was thinking about it, too. On the flip side, this team beats New Orleans if Tucker does what he does.
Well, maybe. They would have gone to overtime.
Yes. But his value is felt when he isn't playing well, which is rare.
Yeah.
What's so great about it, too, is this new? Is this a new thing for
No,
Ravens
but I
football?
think people
Is
have
this
forgot.
2006? Is this 2008? Strong defense, running game, a great kicker.
Yep. Same old Ravens?
Same old Ravens, but in a good way. But in a good way now.
Is it the good old?
Yeah, they're number
good
2
old
seed.
Ravens.
Yeah, and what you brought up with that missed extra point, that was the defining moment for Justin Tucker. I mean, we all said he would bounce back, but until you see it happen, you really don't know.
Totally.
I mean, he's been perfect since then. It's like it never did happen. So if it's possible to be better than already the best, since that happened, he's been even better to me than he was before.
Well, Ryan brought up grinding out some points. When you take on Kansas City, that might not be the right formula. We'll see who falls into the pressure cooker this week, coming up next on Unscripted. Back to the Unscripted couch. Time for pressure cooker. As you can see, we have a pressure cooker on set. What we will do is have the panel put one of these footballs in the pressure cooker to connote a part of the Ravens game plan, a player, somebody that's under pressure this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And since it is your pressure cooker, Mink, you're up first. So here you go, pal.
Hey-oh. All right.
Nice catch.
Thank you. I'm going to put Lamar Jackson in the pressure cooker. And let's be honest, I mean, he had his first road start in Atlanta, but that place was not rocking. Their stadium was not full. They're out of it. I think Arrowhead's going to be a totally different environment for him. The Chiefs are in it. You know, they could win their division. So I think that, and also he's going to have to prove that he can cut down on the mistakes. He's got 4 turnovers so far as the Ravens starter. That's going to get more costly when you play better teams. So I think that he's got to cut down on that, and he's got to put up some points because the Chiefs are not going to go quietly on offense. I think that he's going to have to run and gun a little bit more. They're going to have to score more.
John Eisenberg, well-known cook. He's been known to use a pressure cooker. Who do you have?
I got you, John. Here you go.
Thank you. I have the secondary. have you been watching football this year?
I actually saw the Chiefs in person on Sunday.
Kansas City Chiefs are bringing it, and it is that passing game. Patrick Mahomes, how many touchdown passes has he thrown this year?
I think it's 40.
50, 70?
Yeah, it's
I
47,
mean, I'm losing
think.
track. This is the A game, all right? You think Atlanta brought a good offense, and they do have a nice offense. The Ravens shut them down. Kansas City is bringing it, and so it's the passing attack more than anything.
Tight ends, too.
Tight ends.
Travis Kelce's playing as
open receivers all over the place. So it is really up to, I mean, you need a pass rush and you need a lot of things, but the secondary needs to bring their A game this week and guard
to your
those
point,
guys.
and again, just because it's fresh in my mind, I think Tyreek Hill had 1 reception or 1 carry yesterday, and they scored 40 points.
Wow.
And no Sammy Watkins didn't play, and obviously we know Kareem Hunt is no longer on the roster. Cliff, a handoff for you, my man.
All right. I think I'm going to put the Ravens wide receivers in the pressure cooker, particularly Michael Crabtree and Willie Snead. They've got to help out Lamar Jackson a little bit more. I think this whole situation with Lamar has made things a little more difficult for the wide receivers. They're not getting as many opportunities. Sometimes that makes it harder to get in a rhythm, and when you do get one, maybe you're not as comfortable. But Crabtree had a drop again Sunday, as did Snead. And I think that with Lamar, even though you're probably going to see some inaccurate passes here and there, when you give him an out, when he makes a good throw, you have to catch it. To me, it's more important now, the way they're playing, to avoid these drops. And I know these guys are capable of doing it. I know they want to do it. It's interesting, the wide receivers really seem to be trying to rally around Lamar, but yet the mistakes are still there. They may have to cut out these mistakes against teams like Kansas City and Los Angeles, or else this could be defeats.
Yeah. And Mink, I think we're going in the right direction here, or same direction. Let's dig into this Kansas City game. And Bergie brought it up in terms of the defense having to slow this
You
offense
just call
down.
him Bergie?
Yeah,
I've never heard Bergie. I like that.
That's an old school Comcast Sportsnet Mid-Atlantic nickname. You're welcome. How many points do you think this defense of the Ravens can hold Kansas City to?
Well, I think they can hold them to under 30, and I think that all has to go back to Lamar in this running attack. I think the best defense is a good offense, and that's what the Ravens are really rallying around right now. If the Ravens can go at this Chiefs' porous run defense, the Chiefs' D is not very good.
It hasn't played well.
Yeah. If they can run the ball on them, control the clock, keep Mahomes and company off the field, then I do think that you have a chance of limiting them to under 30.
This game against Kansas City, you're going to see the Ravens take some shots downfield. With all this running and controlling the clock, it's been great, but even John Harbaugh has said, hey, we want some quick strike touchdowns too. Mm-hmm. And John Brown was open on one of Lamar's bad throws for a touchdown. I think the Ravens feel they can make some big plays. They're leaving some on the table. I think this game, more than any other, since we've seen Lamar take over, that this will be the game they try and take some deep shots. Because, yeah, if they don't get to 30 points, they know they may not win.
And lastly, and quickly here, and this is for us on the outside, I think, more than anybody, but is it a sense where getting a win is obviously would be the best for everyone involved that's within this organization, but is just making sure that they're competitive something that they need to walk out of this thing feeling like?
No, I think you got to win this game. We're beyond that at this point. I mean, competitive.
Well, the math
I think the
would
Ravens
say
think they're
you're
gonna
not.
The math says you don't have to win this game,
Yeah.
but I mean, you never know what's going to happen down the stretch. They drop a game to Tampa Bay that you're supposed to win, or the Browns that you're supposed to win. I mean, to me, this game looks a lot like the Saints game. It's an opponent that you hope you can play up to their level and give them a shot, give them a run. And
But the Ravens were so different a team when they played
They were
the Saints in a good and bad way.
Oh, completely. But I'm just saying that it's a team that obviously is a Super Bowl contender that I think the Ravens are a team that rides to the occasion oftentimes, especially on the road, riding a 3-game win streak. I think that they could go in there and surprise some people, especially like you kind of brought up, Evan, if they can get turnovers, if they can break that interception skid. They haven't had one since week 5. They can make some big plays both offensively and defense. I think they could give the Chiefs a good
Well,
run.
Mink, thanks again for bringing your pressure cooker. It was another successful
Sorry,
segment.
it's not clean.
Rating game coming up next. Welcome back to Unscripted. Time for the rating game. Pretty basic here. It's a chance for the panel to put a number next to their opinion thanks to the trusty Microsoft Surface tablets. First up, rate 1 through 10 Sam Cook's fake punt throw to Chris Moore in the win over the Falcons. 10 being We have a QB controversy. It's not Lamar or Joe.
Well, I wrote
it's Sam or Joe.
I wrote the 10 before you said that.
Okay, so you got a 10. You really liked it, Ryan.
I mean, it was awesome. Sam Cook is he's perfect as a quarterback over his career. So, yeah, man, he's the back. Actually, if RG3 had gotten injured, and let's say
He's
Lamar,
the emergency QB. It's something that you ask in every production meeting when you do a game.
He is. I mean, Sam Cook is, if you ask 10 guys in the Ravens locker room, probably all 10 will say that Sam Cook is the best all-around athlete on the Ravens. I mean, he's that guy that wins at everything.
I find that really hard to believe.
I'm telling you, he's the guy that wins at everything.
Somebody would say that.
If you play him in ping pong, he'll beat you. Cornhole, he'll beat you.
Those
Golf,
are athletic
he'll beat
games.
You. Golf, he'll beat you. Softball, best hitter on the team.
Sailing?
Basketball, he might be the best basketball player on the team. I'm telling you, yeah, sailing. Luge, I'm telling you.
I'm going to cut you off. All right, next up, Suggs sack celebration. I guess we're describing it as the grenade launching, whatever.
Yeah.
Lights out. I don't know, 1 through 10.
Not lights out. He's not Sean Merriman.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. Bergie, John Eisenberg, with a 10. You liked it.
I thought it was outstanding.
Really?
Yes, absolutely outstanding. I mean, what more do you want?
At least you stayed on the field.
You got like 8 guys falling over. I'm not sure exactly what he was doing, but yeah, 8 guys falling over, and you're on the road, and I'm sure a lot of those Atlanta fans are just going, "What exactly is going on there?"
I'm always curious whether it's the sack dances or the touchdown dances in practices are so scripted. Is there a period where it's like, all right, everybody, it's choreographing time. I'm going to sit here and act like.
I love that about it. Every time I see something like that, I think, wonder when they went. I mean, how much time was spent? Like, here's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to pull the thing, and everyone's going to fall over.
1, 2, 3.
I like the methodology there. Let's study this craft.
I'm producing so much content for BaltimoreRavens.com.
Yeah.
Great articles this week. All right, rate your confidence as we get serious here to close it out in the Ravens making the playoffs this year.
Okay.
1% to 100%. Closing it out. Let's see who's
1 to
optimistic
100?
here.
We're doing
100.
percentages?
1 to
We're doing
100.
percentages.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
You got a 90. He
John, give it to us. Oh, John can't write. John's
messed up
John's
again.
going to have to say it. John,
He's
write it on mine.
abstaining.
Write it
He's
on mine.
abstaining.
Write it on mine. We got you.
Cliff's got
Okay.
a big cup of purple Kool-Aid going.
All right. We got a 60. That's a bar that's John's and mine.
All right, so John's a
65 over
let's
here.
give Cliff the eternal optimist here. You feel pretty good about this.
I do. I love this formula they have of running and the ball control and the defense, the way it's playing. I feel like the Ravens can run the table. I'm not saying they will, but 3 weeks ago, I would never
Big
said
cup of purple Kool-Aid.
It is. I feel like if they take care of business at home, which they should, looking at the teams they play at home, that they can at least get a split with Kansas City and Los Angeles. And I feel that they have the team, keep the turnovers to a minimum. He doesn't have to throw 67% completions for them to win. It's a formula that works. It's hard to defend. I think they can do it.
If they get to 10, they're in, which means they have to win 3 out of the last 4. If they get to 9, they still have a pretty good chance because they're ahead in the tiebreaker scenarios with the Colts and with the Broncos.
What about winning the division?
Sure, yeah, that's a play too. That's a play.
They're right there. They're closer, to the division than that top wild card. So it's like let's see that happen. I think that is very interesting.
Well, 100%, it's going to be an exciting final 4 games of the season. That will do it for this episode of Ravens Unscripted. Remember, it's Pro Bowl voting season, so if you want to vote in your favorite Raven, head to Twitter with the hashtag Pro Bowl Vote with the player's name following. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the game, everybody, and we'll see you right back here next week.